Yo, yo, what it do? This is the host of the Most 24/7, and we are on CypherBeastT.V. We got a real blessing on the show. He's out in Denver, Colorado. We got Bboy Data. Yo, what's good?
Hey Tony, thanks for having me, man. It's always a honor when to be asked to be on anything that has to do with breaking or to hear opinions or whatnot. So I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, yeah, heck yeah, dude. And you've been pretty active I would say the last 5 years. I think a couple years prior, you're on the 40 and up battle at the freestyle session. I believe you took out I think was it the I can't believe it. I think qualifiers, the top 8 or semis, I can't remember, against Crumbs.
I think I made it to semis. Fact check me. I'm not
Okay.
actually
Yeah, that was
sure, but I think I made it to semis.
yeah.
I for sure know
Yes.
who I lost to. I remember that much more than the wins. The losses, you always remember the losses, you know?
Yeah, that's facts, right? We learn from our losses or failures. We learn to get
Yeah.
better from it. Man, it's
Heck yeah.
cool.
And I've been kind of back at it for the last 4 years, pretty active. As soon as my daughter moved out of the house, I kind of ended up being an empty nester. My daughter is just about 22 now.
No way.
So she left the house and my fiance Rose kind of whipped me into shape. I was always relatively active, dancing quite a bit, but not necessarily practicing to be better or exploring to create new rounds or movements or trying to push the way that I understood music or listened inside of musicality, so the last like 4 years, 3 years, I've really found a lot of new inspiration in that and really kind of worked on my fitness and wellness, even more in order to be a bit of an older active dancer. Yeah, that's what I've been up to for sure.
Yes, yes. And if you don't mind me asking, how old are you now?
44.
40?
I'll be 45 this year. Yeah, I'll be 45 this year. And um I'm not feeling any signs of slowing down, so
Uh-huh.
I feel pretty good. I feel healthier than I did 4 years ago, that's for sure. And a lot of that has just been through just a lot of scheduling and planning, Um, I work, my fiance works, we both train, you know, seemingly 5 days a week. And on the other 2 days, we're doing some type of like active recovery, always being active. So I feel good. I feel really good, especially
Good.
after a knee surgery that I recently had. So
Well,
and now that
hey,
feels better than in the
feels
last
better.
15
That's good.
years. Yeah, I feel really good. Both of my knees like feel great. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely shows. And you just took the jam over in Seattle recently too, which was super cool.
that was actually awesome. That was my first competition back after knee surgery. And I was really selective about what I was entering. I made sure to stay ready. I felt like I was ready like 2 months after my surgery. I was like, I'm ready to roll. But I
Yeah.
decided to be a little bit more selective in what I was entering, especially for the first one back. And it actually ended up being a last minute thing. Bowser and Germs and Kareem had asked me to enter with Germs and
Oh,
and
no.
Bowsy in the 3-on-3, and I just kind of jumped on it because it's just a freaking honor to be able to dance with guys like that. Like, not necessarily about them being just really competitive, but just I love the way they dance. I love the way they break. I see like that Rock Force
Yes.
guys as like having some type of formula. Like you could
Yeah.
watch a freestyle sessions or something like that like all day long and you're watching it and everybody's incredible. And when it's their turn, when you see that they go to compete, you see something completely different than what's been brought in this really high level competition. So I just, it was just an honor to be able to do it with them. And just exciting to be able to kind of like be a part of that. So love those guys. They're great.
Heck
They're
yes.
awesome.
Let's take it back to your beginnings. How old when you actually saw breaking or got into breaking?
I'm originally from Kansas. So there wasn't a lot
Okay.
of, Topeka, Kansas. And in my younger years, there just wasn't much going on there. So when I moved to Colorado Springs, I was like 13, 12 or 13. And I started probably breaking like maybe around 14 or maybe 14 years old or 15
Okay.
years old, maybe 14 years old, 13 or 14 actually. And I just saw some guy doing windmills in
Yeah.
my school gym, and I was like, for sure, this time next year, I'm gonna do windmills, you know. And of course, it's kind of like the story that you might hear a lot is you're a nerdy kid who maybe wants to get girls or whatever,
Yeah.
and you start breaking. And for me, it's didn't work. I didn't get girls from breaking or anything.
Uh,
So, but I really did fall in love with it. It took me because there wasn't a lot of breaking culture in Colorado Springs at the time.
mhm.
Um, it took maybe 7 or 8 years to get a taste of the culture and the history and the breadth and the depth of of what hip hop could be.
Mm,
I
yes.
eventually went out to like B-Boy City 13, and there was everybody there was just so high level, and it was so raw, and it was just powerful to see it like that, you know? And everybody there was incredible. And we were like, what happened here? And I was with my crew, Soul Mechanics, which was from Colorado Springs. Still love those guys. We're still super close, you know? Wish I could actually be in more contact with those guys now. Yeah.
And
We
Bboy
went out there
City
and we were like,
Thursday, that's in Texas, right?
it was in Texas.
Texas,
Yeah.
right? Is
I
it
think we
Houston or
might have driven
Dallas?
out there in a Honda Fit. Like we had a Honda Fit, and it was like six of us deep in that thing. Like one person like trading spots in the trunk like every couple
Yeah.
hours. Like and the trunk is like this big, so we'd sit there and the luggage would either be on top of us or we're on top of the luggage, and
Yeah.
we made it, dude. We made it. But yeah, and we actually were just curious about what had happened there and how it came to be as it was. And somebody had mentioned, they're like, you know, like this guy, Elmo,
Mhm.
was living out there and he had kind of like also educated a lot of folks in, you know, more traditional styles, you know, of breaking.
Yes.
And a guy in my crew, Reach, who was one of my first inspirations for breaking, he invited Elmo out to Colorado Springs for like a week or so. And he
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of put us on, you know, he like kind of educated us. And I couldn't really pick up much at the time, but I feel like that early experience, just a week with that dude, kind of like speaks through the continuation of my breaking today, you know? So
Wow, no way.
it was really helpful in my journey. It really taught me like, oh, you gotta go out. You have to leave and be humble and experience other people and their experience and ask questions and know you're not the hottest shit out there. You know you're not the best dude out there. You just got to be
Mm,
okay with saying, "Dude, that is really inspiring and I would like to learn that," you know? Because I don't think that that was always a thing in my era, right?
yes, yes.
Like we quickly learned like, "Oh, the guys who are out there just being like, "Holy shit, you're really good. I'd like to learn that," or "I'd like to ask questions," or "I'd like feedback." That was a new thing for me when I was in my early 20s or late teens. Like it was kind of a new thing to be humble enough to just go up to people and be like, how'd you do that, dude? Or
Yeah,
where are
yeah.
you learning from? And ask those questions. And we learned that, man, those guys that are like that are doing that, we're seeing them the next year and they're like trajectory is like crazy. Like they're getting so good so fast. Well, of course, because you're breaking past like that gatekeeper mentality.
Yes, yeah,
And
totally.
we see it today. We see how much that has affected breaking today. Like there's much more being taught and there's much more being learned through those experiences. So I think that's it's really cool to see that, you know? And
Yeah.
today I'm still that guy. I'm still like, oh, how the fuck you do that, bro? Like, and I'm still, if I don't know you, I'm still vocal in a cipher. I'm not the guy who's kind of closed off. If I see something that's dope, I'm giving props where it's due and where it's deserved,
Yeah, yeah.
and that allows me to connect with people. So I really enjoy like connecting with people when I'm going out.
That's sick, and it's for the passion and love of it, and you see things that impressed you and going to give 'em props. "Hey, what's up? That was sick, that move you did," or the round or whatever. Yes.
Yeah, man. Freaking I got one life, man. I'm trying to, like, take as much in as I can, and I think that that's, like, a superpower that the us
Yeah.
older folks who are breaking, I think that's a superpower. There's, like, less ego there, and I think it's okay to understand that to have that wisdom. I think it's great to have that wisdom, and that's, like, how we as older folks there is no more old dog doesn't learn new tricks, I don't believe in that. Like, I just want to keep growing and keep learning and use the wisdom that I have at my older age, raising somebody, raising a kid. I want to use that wisdom to as an advantage, to be a better breaker, to
Yeah, yeah,
continue to
yeah.
learn, not
Yeah,
run the same shit
it's
all the
great how
time.
you mentioned that because I mean, during your era, during that time, there was a lot of, gatekeeping as in, "I don't wanna show my moves here or do it here 'cause, they're gonna steal my moves or bite it," and then I think that's an kind of like the older school mentality back in, the earlier days, but
Yeah,
now we have.
I have two. I can be a dick. I can cipher and just be absolutely ferocious. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I'll enjoy that exchange. Nowadays I tend to have an exchange. I'd rather have an exchange that's really clever, even if I am talking shit, but yeah, I think that, like, why not share? The more we are all sharing, the more we're gonna grow and the more we can, like, break past, like, what I see as a glass ceiling in breaking. A small
Yes.
percentage of
Right, right.
guys are having a career in breaking, but I believe in that for more folks, for more of the younger guys that are coming up, the guys that are in their 20s that have really decided, like, okay, dude, I want to do this, like, I really want to, like, commit to this.
Yeah, yeah, as
Yeah,
as
I
we
hope
get
to see it.
older, kind of coaching or mentoring, kind of showing the like a pathway, what should they do or can they do within the breaking. Yeah, yeah, which ties in a lot
Yeah,
of not just the moves. For example, like not just breaking moves. It's great doing that. I have moves too. I'm actually gonna. I've been a little bit in training too, but it's harder as we get older. We got the other responsibilities and taking the time to do it. And but then I feel from like making content as well. Like I never went to those early ages. I never went to like those freestyles or the bigger events, which I should have. I didn't have like any crew members at the time that were like, go, let's go. But we stayed in a local town, local city, Portland. We done, been to a couple Seattle jams. Seeing what's the possibilities out there that are doing a lot bigger things and better things that I have not seen. I'm like, wow, this is like crazy. Going to the events like freestyle, it was surreal during my first time. And I was like, God, there's all these people I saw like on YouTube there in person, ciphering right there. I'm like,
yeah,
dude, it's crazy. And so what kind of leads into like content as well, the storytelling and kind of having that knowledge of, some of these people could have asked, never had the time or the courage or had the ability to talk to the people that maybe the possibility I'm talking to, and hopefully there's questions that they're thinking I have mentioned in the podcast. And so it feels me too, because I kind of want to know how the uprising of other people, how they get to where they're at today. It's encouraging and motivating for me, and hopefully the viewers and watchers as well.
yeah. Tony, how old are you?
Dude, I'm 38. I just turned 38 in
All
November.
right,
Yeah, I'm turning 39 this year. But
that's
I've been
dope.
breaking when I was 18 back in '06. That's when I started. I think I
Very
had a
cool.
sense when I was like 17 about like dancing because my high school had like a hip hop class thing. I think it was like crumping at the time. Some people in our school would crump, and then my senior year in high school, which one of my crewmates now, he'll be at the event with me, but he came to my school from another school for some reason, and then him and another guy did assembly, which was breaking, and they started doing the windmills. Oh, the power moves. I was like, dude, I want to learn
Yeah,
that. And I think that
it's
same,
hilarious, dude. Attracted to power moves, and then
yes,
I'm here not doing power, but still love it.
it's
I
yeah,
still am. I'm like,
it's hard. It's hard.
so dope.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of an uprising. But yeah, yeah, and kind of foreseeing what's out there and the possibilities. And I'm like, just like, man, it's mind blowing in trying to be better, every day to better myself and better my skill levels and everything. Cause yeah, like you're saying, as we get older, I feel like we have to kind of look in sessions or practice in a different way. What can we learn from here to today we can get that will be make it better the next?
Percent, dude. Like also, consistency is
Hmm.
a
Yeah,
superpower, and
it
patience
is. Yeah.
is a huge thing. I think that a lot of folks might get hung up on like trying to get somewhere as soon as possible rather than like focusing on actually just like being where they're at and enjoying where they're at, because when you're enjoying yourself, like the rest really
Mm,
takes care of itself, right? Like
yeah.
if you're just consistently doing it, you're not trying to like kill yourself in there every day as a older mature breaker or whatever, and you're just like enjoying that process of discovery, like so much can come so quickly. It's kind of like you slow down to speed up. That's just
Mm,
kind of
hmm.
a bit
Yeah.
of a universal rule anyway, right? Like as I'm like, oh, instead of like training this like super high difficulty thing that I haven't even started training yet, I'm like just really like appreciating and enjoying what it is that I have and what I've created, in that moment in my training. And then I can kind of go towards that. And so much can grow from just that, those like simple things that you're doing that really can make your dance so much more complex. And really that's where you have something to offer actually, that's where you can
Mhm.
make a contribution, that's where you can be creative and do something that hasn't been done yet, rather than my ass on my floor all day trying to check some box that would be required to win an Olympics, or that would be
Right.
like, I got to get air flares. Well, I guess, what we have to do is you got to think about the opportunity that's lost when you are focusing on something
Yeah.
that maybe isn't really true to you and to your dance and to your movement. Sure, if you love it and you love how it looks, that's great. And do I think you should train those things? Sure, because other things will come from there, but you always got to make sure that you're putting your own twist on it. Like, heck
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
learning some difficulty. Like, I'm learning more difficult stuff, but for sure, I'm putting my weird quirkiness on it,
Right. Right. Yeah.
So I think that's good. And again, dude, it is about consistency. Like, because I work and because Rose works, we're training in the gym or on our dance floor at our home. We're training at
Hmm.
7 a.m. and
Yeah.
it gets done that way. And something that's great about doing it that way is that it also leaves an opportunity to possibly train again
Right.
in the
Right.
day. Like when you're done, or when the young guys are like, let's go train, after they
Hmm.
wake up at 12 or 1 o'clock, I'm like,
Right.
maybe I could train again. Like maybe we could do this. So yeah, as we get older, it's good to just schedule yourself. Use your adult skills. Use your adult skills to like have some consistency, in training.
Well, yeah. Yeah. For 100%. For sure. Some days I will go to the gym and, I'll just practice footwork. Nothing crazy, some stacks here and there. And I'll go to session that same day towards the evening with, whoever the homies or a community practice, I'll go hit those up. And so, yeah, it's different vibes and stuff. And I think it's good to kind of balance your ability to how do you want to perceive it and breaking today? I'm going to learn this and that. And so, I guess a training schedule helps a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
it does.
awesome,
It
and
helps
it
a
does
lot,
show.
I think. Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah. You too, man. I know you don't have to tell me you're training. I know you're getting to it,
yeah, a little bit here
I
and
know
there,
you're
man. Yeah, it's hard. It's like you're mentioning, got all this stuff on top, and then you're trying to
Yep.
put into the training. But
Yeah.
then it's all mentality too, it's scheduling and getting it, and then doing it consistently.
Yeah. Also working on some other things. Cause I do know as an older person, there's also some disadvantages. Cardio and stuff is a lot different as you're older. So I've been like working on some other things like VO2 max and recovery and things like that, and trying to find as much information I can in order to, times I say like, oh, in order to be more competitive. But the fact is that I want to go more. I want to do more. I want to like share more. And my ability to do that is based on my wellness, my fitness, my
Mhm.
health, and um that discovery for me over the last, well, I've always been, excited about being fit, of working out with all these things, but gosh, now more than ever, I just feel like, you can't really add more time to life, but you can add more life to time. Like I can be really
Mm,
full and really in the moment if I'm feeling well, So I really
yes, yes.
really try to focus on being completely present in everything that I'm doing, and that goes with relationships as well. I'm like, I really value that as well. Like the people I'm breaking with, I just want the best for them, and the people that I have breaking, done, traveled with, I just want to see everybody do well,
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Cool, because you want to see everyone,
Yeah, this thing is
not you're only winning on different things. You want to see your crew or your friends and family, whoever uprise as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, because this whole thing has connected me with some of the most special freaking people, right? That I can really relate to. And so
Yeah.
I want to continue to create those relationships and have healthy relationships with folks because when you're in a competitive scene, it can get spicy, Like you can
Huh?
have,
Oh yeah, for sure.
so I'm always like trying to take a 10,000-foot view, not just today's win or today's loss or today's battle or today's argument, but the 10,000-foot view of like what I'm doing it for, and that like really helps me stay sane. It really keeps me in the game. I think a lot of people like get overly, I think they prioritize, the wins and losses, and it's just no way to last,
Mm-mm.
you know?
No,
I
you're gonna
I
get
want to
more.
prioritize fulfillment, like actual
Yeah.
fulfillment, and it takes a pretty well-rounded life inside of break culture, inside of like hip hop culture. You got to like focus on multiple things, the relationships and giving back and your own wellness and your own health and others' wellness and their health. And
I like when
that
you.
for me creates fulfillment.
Yeah, let me tap a little on that. As my lifestyle. Super grateful for my wife. I got 4 kids, right? And so taking the time for me to go travel or these competitions is like, hey, is my family good? Is my wife good? Is she needing things before I do different things? So taking care of those relationships as well. It plays a huge part from.
100%, dude. It's hard to have a good product as a breaker, to put something out there when your loved ones aren't well. When you're sitting there worried, you know how it is
Yeah.
as a father, dude. Like it breaks your freaking heart when your kids are having issues and troubles and your partner is having a hard time, Like
Mm-hmm.
this isn't, and I think we've seen it before. Like it doesn't need to be a means. Like I don't want breaking to be a means of escape for me. I
Yes.
want it to be a means of celebration of the people I know and love,
Ooh.
and myself, who I
Dude, I love
also
that. That's
love.
sick. Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so like if I'm not well, if my family's not well, like I've got to prioritize like what then is gonna make them feel as fulfilled as I can be fulfilled, right? Like so many times when I'm breaking or traveling and I'm seeing something that's just like so amazing, it's just like blowing my mind. The things that I think about, like, oh, I wish my partner could see this. I wish my daughter could experience this. I wish my brother could just like experience the fulfillment I am feeling from this, Because
Yeah.
if you can't bring your dogs along, if you can't bring the homies along, like
Yep.
that's just sounds lonely to me. Like I'm just not about that life, So, and
Yeah.
granted, some folks don't get to come along, and some
Mhm.
folks don't see with you eye to eye and they can't be a part of the journey.
Right.
So there's a balance there, right?
It is a
Like,
balance, because
yeah.
sometimes that vision or the ability that you have may not be within their line with their goals, and so that's when it kinda, offsets little things, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, so
And no hate, everybody's just got different priorities. And I can appreciate that. Like we're all different, you know? We're all different people out there. So the priorities can be very much different. So and your reasons for and what you need for your fulfillment, can be different.
you said you mentioned you're 44 years old and you're still going to this day, which is super amazing. A lot of people your age wouldn't be as active as you are, looking a whole brighter of the whole world, right? There's not that many folks
Yeah, there's a pretty
doing
low
it.
I think there's a pretty low percentage.
Yeah, yeah.
But man, have I found a lot of great, folks that are kind of pushing that limit. I feel like that if there's something that I can contribute, I'd like to show people we can keep it going, man. Like We could keep
Yeah.
going. You know, I've heard people say like, "Oh, it's for the kids." No, it's for people. It's for all of us. You
Yeah,
know?
correct. Yeah.
It's not just for the kids. If it's just for the kids, then where will the older generation be in order to guide those kids, in order to have that same fulfillment? Like hip hop ain't just for the kids. Breaking ain't just for the kids. It is for the kids, but it ain't just for the kids, you know?
Mhm.
It's for all of us, man, you know? And I'm kind of a kid anyway, so
Yeah,
we'll
yeah. No,
we'll
I
keep
feel you.
that. Yeah.
Kid at heart and get down and break. You know, coming up towards the 40 age, right, in a few years. And I'm competing till this day. I'll battle, still training. I do feel the cardio though, or I feel like not as active as I was 10 years ago. But it's really getting myself trained and getting into it. But there's so many moves out there, and you mentioned air flare earlier. I'm actually trying to learn air flares, but I gotta learn different moves to help me get that strength. So I never really had inverts. So I'm learning the invert pose on both arms to get it, stronger and better, where it plays a part to learn the air flares. And it's always been a dream move in my mind to do. And so now I'm like,
Yo, it's
no,
such a cool
I want to
move.
get it.
It's such a cool move, dude. And I love
Yeah.
flares. Dude, and I love ground pound.
But you do.
Yo,
Good,
for
good.
me back in the day
It's like
when
I'm on the opposite.
yeah, when I first learned of like Minnesota Joe and the way that he was
Yeah.
doing ground power, I was like, that shit is beautiful, dude. It
Yeah.
is so good looking. Like it looks so cool. But yeah, man, and I'm same thing. I was away at this jam in San Diego, the She Got the Moves jam, put on by Mel and Eddie Styles. Those guys are so freaking fantastic. They're just so welcoming and just good people. So it's always good to chop it up with them.
Good,
But
good.
anyway, I was at their event
Hmm.
and actually Rose did a like fitness warm-up class and had a really cool turnout. And then the next class was like a power class and they were just teaching like handstands. KT was teaching it. KT was teaching like power to these college kids, and I just
Oh
sat in
yeah,
on the
yeah.
class, and she was just talking about handstands. And my ass, I did a lot of handstands in my day. There was one slight adjustment, dude, like bringing my hands, my shoulders in tighter and stacking better. And I was like, oh my god, it's so light up here. It
Oh,
like made everything feel so light. I'm just saying, like, don't, yeah, like I've taken a lot of steps backwards in order to
move.
move forward, you know? And it's crazy to think about like the simplest things that you would think after 29 or 30 years of breaking, of breaking that I wouldn't need to go back and like
Uh,
adjust a handstand,
yeah, they
But you'll
say
also
back
see that,
to basics, right?
yeah, going back to the basics, just slight adjustments. Just wild though. It's just
Dude.
wild what we all have to learn still.
And that's
Yeah.
awesome. And which kind of, tease off to the next question is that like the Red Bull BC one, Denver Cypher coming this April 3rd, prelims on the 2nd. You are one of the judges at the event. Tell me how does it feel to have the Red Bull competition in Denver? And I think this is there's been there multiple times in Denver, but different years. And but what does it mean to you to be having that in your city?
First of all, it's a huge honor to get to judge Red Bull and also to enter. To just be a competitor, whether you're entering prelims or not, like you're stepping up, dude. You're like stepping up to the plate. You're like, I'm gonna go out there and step out there all by myself and
Yeah.
either A, do phenomenal and blow it up in front of a really excited crowd, or take a shit, and not do so well. And that has also happened to me before, so
Yeah.
it's an honor to be able to like just be involved with it. I think Red Bull does really well in Denver. It's really well received. The dancers
Yes.
here do not take it for granted. They love that it's here. The community love that it comes here. And through that, Red Bull gets the support it deserves,
Mm,
for
yes.
throwing the world's largest one-on-one jam, essentially, or competition, I should call it,
Right.
right?
Right.
So Red Bull being here is what Denver deserves. And I think in return, the Denver breaking community gives right back to it. And I think that's
Ooh,
why Red Bull continues to be here because the crowd shows up, the competitors show up, the local scene supports, and therefore, I guess in both ways, Red Bull supports our local scene
yeah.
and the local scene in return, returns that support. And that's why, like, this is all kind of reciprocated and that creates a really great energy for Red Bull to be here. I mean, all of the Red Bull events that have been here have had like just a really fantastic turnout and there's just been really great energy around it.
Ooh,
So I just love them being because this is an intercoastal city, right? Like
uh-huh.
usually, you don't get these things here. And usually you wouldn't even think you would get a really like large breaking scene here. And it runs deep here. There's a lot of history here with the Colorado scene and there's a lot of people involved. You've got a lot of great dance studios that Red Bull helps as well and those studios also of course help Red Bull as well. Um but you've got like Me Chantley and School of Breaking and On the Break, and you've got the B-Boy Factory as well. You got, there's a lot of outlets, there's a lot of access here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I think, I'm speaking for the Denver scene right here, but
Uh-huh.
I believe that Denver is like, that is one of the goals to Denver is to create access for people to find breaking. Red Bull has just played a huge part in that,
Damn, that's
and
amazing.
those studios. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Dude.
those crews and those OGs and those women that are breaking. They're all trying to support access to breaking.
Yeah.
Something that we didn't have when we were growing up. I don't know if you remember,
Right.
but we didn't have a lot of access.
Oh, yeah.
Like you didn't know
Yeah.
where
No,
to find it, or
definitely.
I didn't.
Yeah, that's why I kinda had questions like that, back in the day, where are you finding jams? How's people connected? Is it word of mouth? I think back then when I first started, it was the, bboynetwork.com or oh, no, no, bboyworld.com when they had the
B-Boy
forum
World,
page
dude.
and people would drop mixtapes
Dude,
on
when
it
I was
and
younger, it was like my dream to be on, like, have a clip on
right?
B-Boy World. And I never got on there, because I wasn't there yet. But yeah, B-Boy World, dude. That was
Yeah.
that was awesome. It'd take you
My,
forever to like upload a
my
clip.
buddy
You'd be
from
like, God,
crewmate
come on.
that'll be here in Denver with me. He'll be there on Friday. But back then he did a video clip, learn windmills in 10 minutes. And I guess I got reposted or reshared on the B-Boy forum there, the B-Boy World.
Sick.
And this was like
That's awesome.
pre, when it first kind of started, but
Yeah.
he never stuck with it. He should have, but yeah, making
Yeah,
more
he should have
tutorials.
kept going. He could have, yeah. Obviously, we know tutorials work for all these Instagram guys. So
Yes, yeah. Yeah, man, that's dope. And then, I guess the other question too, it's like, what does it mean to you is this your first time judging on that stage?
it is the first time I've judged Red Bull. I've been asked before, and I didn't judge. This is the first time, actually, when I was asked, I was like, because just I'm grateful that I can also decide whether I want to enter or not.
Right. Yeah.
And just in being really selective and maybe trying to do a little bit less one-on-ones, it just made sense to judge this time, especially since I hadn't really entered much since my surgery. So I'm just like kind of finding
Got it.
that
Yeah.
comfort again. But man, I actually really like judging. I take it very seriously, kind of like we all take breaking very seriously, but I've seen how disappointing and I've felt how disappointing it can be when you have a judge that doesn't take things seriously. And I think that nowadays
Got
people,
it.
Red Bull, other promoters are really finding and asking judges, asking for people to judge who actually really take it seriously. So I'm just really honored to be a part of it, man. I'm always honored to be a part of any event or to like contribute in any way that I can. Putting out there has in some way contributed. That's ultimately really fulfilling for me. So I'm excited, man. I'm really excited to judge, and it's going to be difficult to judge. Red Bull
I
is
bet.
difficult to
Yeah.
judge.
Yeah. There's so much
Like
talent.
it's going to be a fun time. you know? And after that, we got
Rocker Rumble.
after Red Bull, the next day we got Rockers Rumble, which is gonna
Mm,
be really exciting as well, man. That's a 5-on-5. It's a legacy event that hasn't been thrown in like 5 years. It used to be
oh,
Colorado's like
wow.
biggest event. You know, it's well funded. Like the space is beautiful. The floor is awesome. The sound is great.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is the very next day. And everybody from Red Bull is going to be here with their crews supporting them. And that competition is going to be great. And I'm also
Yes.
judging that one. I'm judging that with Ives
Roscoe Randy.
and Randy, yeah, which are two other dancers that I just freaking am super inspired by. I love I love just like bouncing ideas off of those guys. Their energy's always super good, you know, like yeah. So that'll be great. So I hope everybody kind of shows to that as well.
Yeah. 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 I'll be there too. I'll be there. Me and my other buddy will be two of us. We're like, oh, should we compete? We need to pick up three other people,
You
but we'll
should,
see.
bro. You should compete, man.
Yeah.
Like throw your
Just,
hat in the freaking throw your name in the hat and take some
yeah.
fools out, dude. Take some guys out, you know? Let's
Yes.
go.
Yeah. Let's do it. Bboy Data. Last, I have a couple more questions though. Um, how'd you get the name Data?
Yo, I love the movie The Goonies.
Okay. Okay. You're gonna hate me for this,
And
but I actually never seen it. I never seen it,
oh,
and I live in Oregon.
dude. Bro, my brother has even driven by the house.
Has
I think
he?
those
Oh,
people are pretty annoyed by I mean, it is a cult classic,
yes. Yes.
and I don't know if any of you guys know, but there's a character in the movie. His name's Data.
Okay.
And he's got all kinds of cool like inventions. I love how creative he was. He's like this cool little Asian dude, and he had this like belt that had all these tools that like popped out, like the pinchers of power and all kinds of cool stuff. So I just like loved that he invented, like he was creative enough and he invented these tools to get himself in and out of binds and stuff like that. I just thought that he was cool. So
That's
I would
great.
always quote him.
Cool.
I would always quote him, and my crewmates in Soul Mechanics just started saying it. They're
Huh.
like,
And it's
"It's
stuck.
Data, you know." And then my boy Airsick, who was actually a big time inspiration for how I dance now, and I used to do a lot of 2-on-2s with him. He taught me a ton about like a competitive breaking. For some reason, he just added juice.
Huh.
He was like, it's Data
Yeah.
Juice. So that's why you see that on my Instagram handle. I gotta still pay tribute to Airsick because
Right.
that
Right.
guy's rad. I still like look up to him as a competitor and a business person. We have philosophical similarities when it comes to doing business and things like that in our outside of breaking world businesses. So love that guy. Love that guy. Yeah.
Sick. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I gotta go watch that.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch, dude. Hold on for one
Yes.
second. My computer's about to die.
Yo, what's up, B-Boy Data? We had a little tech difficulties, but we're back at it. And I wanted to know about your what crews are you repping nowadays?
Actually not repping any crew right now besides my original, Soul Mechanics crew, which
Right,
there's
yeah.
not a lot of activity. There's not much, activity there. But yeah, the original guys from maybe 2003, I'm always gonna rep those guys just because grew up with those guys kind of,
Yeah,
Um
yeah, Nafu, yeah.
no longer repping Vicious by Nature. Still love them all, but just parted ways, happily, and gratefully parted ways. I got a lot of great experiences with those guys, and have a lot of fun. And I'm always open arms to those guys. They're all great.
Yeah, yeah, dude, definitely, definitely. In the previous competitions you got on, like 5 vs 5 and crew, you guys killed it. You guys killed it over at Skills Talks and
Yeah, man.
the other jams. That was awesome. And
Yeah.
Soul Mechanics. That was formed back in '03.
I think it was. I think it was '03. My buddy Focus, he had a coffee shop. And he named it Soul Mechanics.
Oh, sick, sick.
Um
Lineage right there.
and we would meet there to break. And it was his coffee shop, and he breaks, so he's part of the crew as well. So we just ended up calling the crew Soul Mechanics, you know?
Ooh,
Yeah,
yes.
that's how we did it. It's a cool name. Still a
Yeah,
cool
it
name.
is. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Soul
But
Mechanics. Yeah, dope,
yes.
man.
And I don't
I
know, like I think I'm always looking for um, the best home to be the most fulfilling as far as like the folks that I'm breaking with. I think that
Mm,
like,
yeah.
everybody should be out looking, or I just myself, I want to be out looking for like the best experience and the most fulfilling experience possible, and that does have very much to do with the relationships I have. Um,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. If they align,
yeah, if everybody
beliefs and
aligns, when everybody's
yeah.
goals are aligned, you all get to hit them together,
Oh,
you know?
yeah. Elevate
They don't have to
together.
be the same goals, but um as long as they're aligned. If
Yeah,
me reaching my goal helps you get to your goal, I think that's great. I think
it
that's
is.
great.
And so, I noticed you've been training a lot. I think there's upcoming competitions. Are you planning on competing any ones in the future? And then also, um, what would your training process look like when you're prepping for an event or a competition that is?
I feel like I'm always kind of like I make all of my training, serve multiple purposes. And then, maybe right before I'll kind of adjust depending on what it is that I'm doing. Am I doing a 3-on-3? Am I doing a 1-on-1?
Mm, right, right.
How do I make sure that I'm as effective as possible, or make sure that I'm feeling as though like I'm going to put out uh the best of me that I can in that situation depending on format.
Hmm.
Right now I feel like I've just been really saying to myself like stay ready, stay ready, stay ready. So I'm always kind of like motivates me to keep at it. Stamina is a big one for us, older guys.
Right, right.
So I'm really like to work on that. I really like to put myself in the position of a final battle. You're super gassed.
Oh,
Are you still gonna execute? And
yes.
sometimes that has to do with the placement of the difficulty or where the moves are in the round, like footwork and top rock is can be a lot of cardio, especially when you have a lot of adrenaline and stuff like that. So it really
Yeah.
just depends. It really just depends on where I'm at. Right now I'm in a really cool creative process. So
Hmm.
I'm discovering like moves that are like actually quite a bit more difficult for me, and I'm figuring out where that fits in my quirky kind of style, Like, oh, where can this fit?
Yeah.
And where can I take this move, which I feel as though is original and can blend it with my other original stuff. I'm always going to prioritize originality. That's just like where my
Oh,
style
yeah.
is, and it's a really great way to be clever when I can't fly, as much as everybody else or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of a interesting way, the training process.
Yeah,
And then
well
as I get into it, like as I get close, as I know that something is coming up in the next month, right? Like then I'll take everything that I've completed and that I feel really confident in, and I'll start to move it into maybe rounds that I've already had, or I can kind of like trade some things in and out and start deciding, how it is that I want to present there. And then I train those rounds and I train those rounds. So because what will come out will not be those rounds, but it'll practice those specific movements,
mm,
as because the round just won't come out the same depending on the music, right? So I want to be able to flow in and out of that round so I can make sure to make certain points that I want to make, and while also freestyling and having some real musicality, and being able to stop and have character and burn and do these other things. And that's just like my training process. Like,
nah, damn.
sorry I cut you off there.
No, you're
Sorry.
good.
Keep
You're
talking
good.
here.
So pretty much you just train rounds, like, until you're gassed out and do you have more to bring out after?
Yeah. Yeah, or I'll try to get gassed out and then train the rounds, cuz
Ooh.
that's a much more real life situation right
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah.
Like what's it like when you're in the finals and you've gotten hot and cold and hot and cold all day, and you're pretty much dependent on adrenaline, so like it's all about like how is it that I stay calm there? How is it that I know that I'm hurting? Like, because the more gas you get, the first thing goes is your mental, right?
Mhm.
So
Oh, yeah,
I
definitely.
think, where am I going to feel super gassed and then tell myself Where will I be calm enough to tell myself to slow down? Like,
Mm.
relax, you know? It's a tricky game, dude. And it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. That's why I love competing. It is a real challenge. It's not just beating the person across from you. It's just about like, how is it that I can put forth the breadth of what it is that I can do? You know, like I really
Mhm.
want to show what I can do. And if you think about it, if you're 90% at home, you know, in the battle situation, you might be 70 or 75% just due to the circumstances, right? Like you rarely get I hit everything at like 95, 100% today, you know? That's rare. So you got to be good
Yeah.
enough
Yeah.
to be killing it at 75, 80%, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so that also makes me feel better when I'm leaving a jam. Like you can't expect to just be absolutely perfect in a
Oh, no.
situation that you have
Yeah.
no idea what you're up against because you've never been there. You don't know the crowd. You don't know how people are going to react. You don't know how emotionally you're going to feel that day or whatever, you know? So that's just my thought process there.
Yes, yes. Yeah, 100%. Because sometimes you might have a clear mindset ready to go, and prep for that jam or battle, but you may all the everything you prep for may not turn out the way you wanted
The
to.
bracket's always gonna be different, you know, you don't know. You just don't know,
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I'm gonna save that prelim round for later because like, I might come across so and so, or I might get some type of music that
Mm,
just makes
yep,
sense
yep.
for this. And yeah, yeah. So
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Dude, you've been training pretty good, and I see some of you on the social media, some stuff you do some of the ice bath. How has that helped you? To me, I done it. I'm like, "Oh, dude, I
yo,
I I can't." I done it
there are
before,
some
but, you know.
things. There are some things, and I gotta give it up to Rose. She's the one who's if I'm getting in an ice bath, you can bet that Rose is somewhere around there forcing me into it.
Oh,
So
okay.
but, um, I never regret it. I never regret it. It does help, especially, like, mentally. The big endorphin rush, it really resets your nervous system, you know?
Mhm.
Um and I have been having that conversation a lot lately with folks like even a different floor affects your nervous system. Even a different floor that you're dancing on affects your
Oh,
nervous
wow.
system. Dude, I just saw some post about like a dance company that was traveling around and they always brought their own floor
Mhm.
for the performances and they had so much less injury due to that because their nervous system was used to the specific floor, the bounce, the feel. So I
Oh.
really like am quite interested in that, the nervous system reset and how that helps us recover for the next day, or how that helps us be more flexible, or how you reset your nervous system so your nervous system knows not to panic when it's in a really stretchy, flexible position that's actually usually would be painful for you, but you reset your nervous system so your nervous system is learning that you're not going to be hurt in those positions. So like that is why, another reason I do like the ice bath. When I'm super locked in, like if I was doing Red Bull, my ass would be in the ice bath, on a daily. I would be in there on a daily,
Uh-huh.
and for sure Rose would be forcing me in there as well. But yeah, the ice bath it's great, man. Like to do that the first thing in your day is like
Oof.
you're getting the most difficult thing. You can't
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing else in your day you can't handle. If you can get into an ice bath at 6:30 in the morning when it's dark out and it's cold out, like
Oof.
it is very useful to help lock in cuz all of this stuff it's mental, man. You know?
Mhm.
Like getting to it every day, it's mental. You can have the exact same practice and pull out all the good from it and hold that inside, or you could pull out
Mhm.
all of the mistakes you made and hold that inside. How do you think either of those are going to make you perform in a crowd? Or how do you think either of those are going to make you
Yeah,
grow
right.
as an artist, right? I'm all about you got to create the best environment possible to grow.
Yes.
And um that has to do with your your space, your surroundings? Is everything there for you to be able to grab and utilize in order for you to get the best practice possible? But that also goes even tighter into your own body and into your own mind. Your mind is your body, right? So like that's the environment we also need to all we should all work towards is like, all right, how do I create the best environment here inside within myself
Yes.
in order to grow, you know? And
Yeah.
um that is and an ice bath can be a tool for that. You know, so
Yeah, yeah, I like how you said,
that's good.
make the best of the environment you have. I mean, that can come with training, that can come with, that saying could be utilized in so many different ways, especially in, I think in training, depending where you're at. There's days I don't really wanna, like, go hard, maybe I feel tired, but then I gotta lock in and be like, "No, I need to hit these moves." It's all mental, right?
Yeah.
So, I love that.
Yeah, sometimes you grit your teeth and bear it, and sometimes you take the path that's least resistance about your practice that day, you know? Like, all right, like if this is gonna hurt, or I mean,
Right,
gosh,
right, yeah.
man, Rose rolled her ankle, 2 months ago,
Mm.
tore a ligament in her
Oh, no.
ankle, and same mindset. She kept training. Now she's like super strong on her hands. Like she has grown
Mm.
so much upside down. Like she's doing a lot more than I am upside down right now. So
Uh-huh.
like, okay, what that's the beauty of breaking as well. Like there's so much
Yeah,
to do.
yeah.
Almost, it's almost an anything goes situation as long as you have your foundation, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So like what can I train and work on in the meantime? Like maybe I don't force this and I go towards this, and then you can create something. In the last 2 months she has really grown as an artist and as a breaker,
Yeah.
because of this ankle injury.
Right, right.
So yeah, and I feel the same way. I feel like since I had surgery, I have come up with so much other stuff, that I am super excited to kind of like to put out there,
Mm,
really
yes.
excited to put it out there. And you would think that I've got a ways to get back to where I was, but no, I surpassed where I was, while I was recovering from the injury, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we
yeah.
use our limitations that, in certain areas in our body that we can't use or, is disabled currently until it heals, but you go and work on moves that your other body can do, like,
The
upper
rest of you
body and
can, yeah, you do what you can, man. Just like in the
yeah.
rest of your life. You do what you can, man.
Yeah, we do what we can. Yep.
You work with what you got, and
Exactly,
things
yeah.
come of that, those that becomes things. So,
Oh, yeah,
and it
for
becomes
sure.
content, and it becomes whatever it is you need it to be. So you just gotta have that environment. You gotta create your own environment.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Dang, data. So, Denver's coming up April 3rd. I'm gonna probably wrap it up right here. Before we
Sounds
end the
great.
show, you got any questions for me?
No, I don't know. Shoot, do I have any questions?
Oh, I don't know,
Gosh.
but I guess before we end it, we can hit up with the cipher round. It's pretty much like 5 questions, top of your dome. Yeah, yeah. You ready for it?
Okay, let's go.
Okay, okay. So the first question is that what's your favorite breaking move?
Oh shit. Ah, first favorite breaking move. Dude, you know what I've been really loving and trying
Uh
and
huh.
is really hard for me is actually like head tracks. I love
Oh,
how head tracks look.
head.
They just look so tasteful. It looks like you have experience when you're doing like dope head tracks.
I don't know what exactly head track, like head spins or like when you tap and do
You
180 tap.
like yeah, tap your foot on the ground and you're bridging with your head and just going over.
Oh, okay, okay. I
That's
know what you're
it.
talking
I just
about.
love how like some people can do those so well, and whenever I see them done correctly, I'm like, "Ooh, that looks good." And to combo them inside of your rounds and shit, it just looks awesome.
So I call them
Anyway,
head swipes. Head
head
swipes. That's what I
swipes.
call it,
Thank you,
right?
thank you. Head
Yeah.
swipes. Yeah,
Head track, head swipes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
head swipes right now. That's my favorite move
Woo.
right now,
Sick.
which I'm poor at doing. So I got to work on that.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it. I need to start training that too. I used to hit a
Yeah.
couple, like a good amount of them, but now, yeah. All right. Second question is that do you have a favorite song you like to break to? Is there like one an all time favorite song? But oh, when this goes on, this track is it's always gonna be good to play.
I'll give you an artist that I love to break to. An artist I love to break to is like the Marvin Gaye stuff. I love
Mm.
like breaking, warming up, and dancing to the Marvin Gaye stuff. like
Ooh,
the Marvin
Grapevine,
Gaye
right?
instrumentals and stuff like that. Love it. Love it.
Sick, sick. Love it. Are you listening to any audiobooks or reading any books currently?
I'm not, and I got to get back to it. But something that I just read, was the power of the unconscious mind, subconscious mind, power of the subconscious mind.
Ooh, yeah, I haven't heard of that one or read it, so
Of
I'm gonna have to
course,
check
I'm a,
that
like
out.
a self-talk person, so I love like you know, I love that. I really do recognize the power of the subconscious mind and how self-speak like really can help create your reality, the reality you dream of. So, power of the
Ooh,
subconscious mind. Check that out.
love it, love it. And then, do you like pineapple on pizza?
No, no, that shit does not belong
Okay.
on fucking pizza. That's like
Uh-huh.
you don't do that. And I'm a pizza lover, okay?
Right.
You know what else? Here's the other thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Cream cheese does not belong in sushi.
Oh,
That's
good,
my other thing.
good.
So,
I don't like that
yeah.
either.
Yeah, shouldn't be in there. Shouldn't be in there.
It shouldn't,
Whatever.
yeah. All right, last question. If you had a chance to enter a competition for a 2 versus 2, do you know who your partner would be?
My fiance,
Hmm. Rose.
Rose.
Yeah.
I love breaking with her, man. I break with her every day, and I love that shit. Even when I'm not breaking, and I'm like, "Oh, today's a rest day for me," and she's like, "I'm breaking." I'm sitting down there stretching
Uh,
and just doing stuff, man. My fiance, 100%, 100%. That's my
yeah, yeah, that's
my
sick.
ride or die, dude. Rose is the bomb, man. I love breaking with her. Hey, I got another book though. For
Yeah, yeah.
anybody else, which I read this maybe a year or two ago, and that I still like track back to it in my mind
Uh-huh.
as an artist, is The Creative Act, Rick Rubin.
Oh, okay. No,
Oh,
I haven't
so
heard
many
that one
gems
either.
in there, dude. So many
Yeah,
gems in there. The Creative Act by Rick Rubin.
I
So
definitely
good.
gotta check that.
You check that out. Check that out.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Sweet, dude. I think that's about to wrap it up. Are you working any projects or anything in the horizon?
Just some battles that I'm going to, and then my work projects, which I really, which I'm really enjoying and I'm excited about, But no, no. The project is just the art, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is. It's an ongoing, forever, nonstop project, So I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Love it, love it. And if people want to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
Just hit me on Instagram.
IG, yeah, Instagram,
Hit me on the
yeah.
IG.
Cool,
Uh,
cool. Bboy Data, such a blessing to have you on. I will see you out in April 3rd, out in Denver,
let's go, bro.
Colorado.
It's
Gotta
gonna be
go
fun. We're
BC
gonna have
one.
fun. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it. Okay,
All
brother.
right.
Thank you so much.
Yep. All right. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Okay, thanks.